Want to go sailing today?
No.
Why not?
So we're not sailing today. We're out on the water because the boat's floating in the marina, but we're not out. And you know, it takes a lot for us to plan all this. If we were just going sailing for the fun of it, it'd be one thing, but we're also trying to make videos for you guys. And today it was a lot of planning and really to get to this point. And then last night we looked at the weather one last time and it's just looking bad. And it kind of brought up the subject of how the sailboat has some drawbacks when it comes to going out on your boat.
Yeah, and we don't want to sound like we're complaining because we're not. We do love what we do and we love where we live and we really can't complain about that. We're just trying to explain why we're not sailing right now.
Yeah. So the tide has to be right. So like today we could go out between something like 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. After 1 p.m. it's too low to get back into the marina. So we had that okay for the morning. And then the wind has to be right. And it was a little low, like 5, gusting to 8, but that didn't even turn out to be true. There's 0 or 1 knot right now. So that forecast, sometimes it's the forecast it's higher, sometimes it's lower. And
Definitely
then,
not enough wind to be sailing.
Yeah. And then the thing we were going to do for the video too, we need to be sailing. And then the third thing is the weather. And in August here in Florida, it's like every day we know it's going to be thunderstorms. It's just, are they coming in the afternoon or the morning? Today, probably around 10 a.m. and they look nasty sometimes.
Yeah.
You do not want to be out in those. They always have like 30 or 40 knot gusts. And
what kind of stinks is that you don't know. So if it says there's a 50% chance of rain, you could have no rain at all. You could have a quick flash storm of like 15 minutes of crazy winds and rain, or it could rain for like 2 hours. Like yesterday, some of our friends went out on their regular pontoon boat and they said they were stuck out on the island for about 2 hours just kind of huddling under their pontoons because it was storming so bad.
Yeah, and in our power boat, we've said this before, we could just like zoom a couple miles one way and avoid the storms because they're very isolated. But in this boat, if you saw a big wall of storm coming off land or out of the water, it would take us 2 hours to get back here, and it's not enough time to avoid it. And
but if we had a trawler, then
it
we could
wouldn't
close
matter.
everything up, go inside,
Turn the windshield wipers on and the air
just be
conditioning.
sitting pretty. Just saying.
Yeah, so if you we like boating, we really want to be out on the water, and it's we have to meet all these requirements first: the weather, the wind, the tide.
And actually,
it's challenging.
The big thing is that it wasn't like, oh, well, we can just go sailing any other day, but we've been trying to make this great video for you guys, not this one, but one that's coming up, and it requires that we get out and sail. It requires wind, it requires that we actually have good, decent sailing conditions, but that'll happen, and hopefully soon.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever open this up in any of these videos, but this is our bilge. The big keel bolts are in there. This yellow line is the bilge line. It goes straight down into a little disc right there, and when you're outside you can pump this handle while you're steering to pump the bilge manually. And then this thinner black line is the bilge pump for the electric bilge pump. And I just replaced that. The old one just looked old and I wasn't sure when it was from, and so those are pretty cheap and they protect your investment here. So I wrote the date on it with a Sharpie, and I put a nice new one. But something to say is I bought a bigger one at first. This might prevent someone else from having the same problem. I'm one of those people where I buy the bigger one of something or the better one thinking I'm doing good, but this one I bought, the output hose is too big. It's 1,100 gallons and that one's only 750, and so it wouldn't fit the hose. So you can't, trying to adapt it's just stupid, because then you're going from a big hose to a small hose. So buy the right one that fits exactly like you have, because the one that you have already, because then you won't have to worry about all that. But now we have an extra bilge pump in case of an emergency or something.
More money down the drain.
Wow, is it really getting crowded out at the islands these days? We were out at this island with some friends last weekend, and we noticed this really odd-looking boat coming to shore, so I had to go check it out. And when I got home, I visited this website for these people that are rowing across the oceans. Pretty interesting. If you're interested in this, you should check it out. I had all my gear out ready for this shoot today, but it's such a disappointment we can't go out, so I got my drone out instead. Let's go check out some boats in the anchorage, especially that old fishing boat that I've been wanting to go on.